Have at it.
All right. So today's meeting will be a little bit short. It'll be about Apple's recent event. They had their Worldwide Developers Conference, WWDC, a few weeks ago, where they talked about the things that they're working on, and that is their new software for the iPhones, the iPads, the Watch, the Mac, and the Apple TV. So they call that iOS, the iPhone software. iPad OS is the iPad software. Watch OS is the Watch. Mac OS is the Mac, and TV OS is the TV. In the iOS 14 they'll be coming out this fall. It'll all be coming out this fall. They've added a lot of home screen adjustments. You can now add widgets to your home screen. That is basically things like your news, your weather, your upcoming events, stuff like that, to your home screen. So you don't have to go to the Today View or whatever to look at it if you need that up close and up and front and center. So they've also added the app library, and that is where you basically get a to Z list of all the apps on your phone. And that's useful because you can also hide pages of apps. Like, let's say you only use like the first and second pages. So you don't need to view, all 10 plus pages of apps on your phone. You can just hide those and just have the 2 pages and the app library for the rest. It's also good because, you can then just, go through your list of apps and see which ones you use and which ones you don't. You can, delete them and all that if you don't want them anymore. Instead of having to go through each and every page and view it that way. So they've also added bike features to their Maps app. So if you ride around on a bicycle everywhere, you can easily get routes that are personalized to that using bike ramps and stuff like that, instead of having to use car routes. So they also added the ability to use your iPhone as your car key on the latest, I think it's a BMW car that'll be coming out this year. So that'll be cool. That'll be coming to more cars. If you're a person who can see well enough to drive, you can also share your car key through iMessage. So that's cool for giving other people access to your car, like teenagers who are learning to drive and such. So they also added the translation app on the phone. Of course, we have Google Translate and stuff, but Apple has to do their own thing. So you can use this for translating both voice and text. In the Messages app, they did a lot of stuff with group chats. You can mention people in group chats. You can reply to individual messages, stuff like that. Moving on to the Watch, you'll be able to use that for sleep tracking as well as everything else it does. You'll be able to set up a wind down feature for when you're getting ready to go to sleep. You can tell it to play some music or whatever before you go to bed or whatever, stuff like that. They've also added new workout tracking types like dancing or core training, stuff like that. And it will also be able to track your hand washing. So that's important nowadays. So now when the watch update comes out, it'll be able to track your hand washing, how long you've washed your hands, and it'll tell you if you haven't washed them for long enough. So on the TV OS for their Apple TV, they've added support for more Xbox controllers and the ability to watch things in picture-in-picture, which is basically where you have a main app open, but you have a video on the top of the screen playing. That could be useful for some people. On the Mac, they have changed their CPU type, their type of computer chip they use. They've used Intel chips to power their computers for a decade now or so. But they have outgrown Intel a bit, so they have switched to their own Apple chips, their ARM chips. So that means that Apple will be in control of just about everything on the Mac, not just the software, but also the computer types. They've updated their Mac operating system as well for bringing it a little bit more close to how the iPhone works by adding iMessage, the Messages app from the iPhone to the Mac as well, to bring the two together, and things like that. Now for accessibility, we have image recognition will be a lot better. VoiceOver will be able to recognize controls in apps that aren't accessible right now, but in iOS 14 it will be able to recognize those a little bit better. Also, Braille support has been improved. You'll be able to automatically scroll the Braille display forward when reading, so you don't have to reach over and press a button every time. And Braille support will also be coming to the Apple Watch. So for magnification users, you'll be able to handle the control sizes in the magnifier. How big you want the controls versus the content you see. And for those who have hearing problems, you'll be able to you'll be able to have iOS or whatever your iPhone notify you of any loud noises in the environment, like breaking glass or screaming or a crying baby, stuff like that. So that's good for people who have hearing problems, or just anyone who listens to loud music or whatever. They'll be able to visually know that. So that's the accessibility updates so far. There's always more stuff that's being found all the time, and the Apple Viz website is a good place to keep up with the news for accessibility and otherwise, stuff like that. So that's the new stuff that was announced by Apple today. Well, not, oh my goodness, it wasn't today, it was 2 weeks ago. But for those of you who are joining late, the video will be posted to YouTube of this presentation. So you'll be able to get that on YouTube later today for those who have come late. So that's the presentation that I've done today on Apple's recent event. So does anybody have any questions?
Hey.
Nope. I wonder how accessible some of the new menu options are going to be in the Big Sur OS that they come out with for the Macs. There's been a lot of beta testers that said that it's a little more aggravating to maneuver than what it used to be.
Yeah, I haven't tested it myself. I'm waiting for the public beta. But I'll definitely be providing feedback, and if anyone does test the beta versions, which means the versions that are still being worked on, aren't really released yet, just remember to give feedback. I wouldn't recommend it for most people, but if you're very adventurous and you don't mind problems, just be aware of what you're getting into. But yeah, I'll definitely be giving feedback if I test the Mac update. I'll definitely be testing the iOS update.
Yeah, I'm gonna test it as soon as they make it. I think they're gonna make it public here in about another month or so. I'm thinking.
They said they would release it in July, so it'll be probably next week or so.
Yeah, and then whenever they do the Big Sur, I'm gonna wait until they do the final public update before I do it, because I don't want to have an operating system on a computer I use 95% of the time and it not work right. But
machine,
it's from what I saw of it, the iOS features are going to be great, especially the app library, because then that's going to take a lot of the folders that you create for your apps, and it's going to take a lot of clutter off of your 2 pages to where you don't have to continually make up to 4 pages like I have on both my on my iPad and on my phone. And the way that
definitely.
The way that the Mac OS is going to be very similar to the iOS features, like the messaging, the FaceTime. And if you use a Mac, like a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro or iMac or Mac Mini, if you use the trackpad, like me, I have the Magic Trackpad, the rotor commands on it are going to be a lot more seamless. They're going to be just like using your iPhone. The developers with that are still in the final stages before they release it on the beta, the way I understand. But according to some of the Apple techs that's working on it, it's going to be a lot easier to navigate your screen with your trackpad just by swiping gestures. I think they're going to add a couple more gestures to it as well.
I mean, we've been able to do that for a while now, but okay, I'll wait.
Well, I mean, they're adding it. They're going to make it a lot more easier to use, though. It's going to be, because some of it, I know this mine has some glitches with it, but it could just be that I'm not using the newest trackpad. I'm using the first gen trackpad. But they're supposed to be doing some updates with it. I don't know how good it's going to be. Like I said, I haven't spoken with anyone that has the beta yet, or the developer's beta version of it yet. I haven't spoke to any one of them, but they're supposed to be adding some more features to it.
All right. So any other questions or any other comments?
Sounds like a wrap.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Everybody got quiet all of a sudden.
Is everybody awake? I know it. And Caitlin, that was you that just joined, right?
Yeah, I believe it was her.
All right. All right. Well, I know this was a short one, but we're kind of trying to squeeze in between our other meeting. But again, I appreciate everybody coming in and participating with us. And if you have suggestions, definitely give them to us. We'll be glad to talk about any topic. This is a lot of fun for us, so we'd love to talk about something y'all are interested in. But otherwise, if you need anything, let us know, okay?
All right.
All right, y'all have a good day.
See you, Joel. See you, Devin.
Blessed day as well, sir.
All right.
Have a good one.